In a bustling town in Nigeria, there lived a wealthy young woman named Nkechi. Nkechi was the daughter of a successful businessman, and her family lived in a grand house with beautiful gardens. One sunny afternoon, Nkechi decided to take a walk through the town's lively market. She wanted to enjoy the fresh air and see the different goods being sold. As she strolled through the colorful stalls, she noticed a young man sitting by the side of the road. He was wearing tattered clothes and holding a small cup, asking for alms from the passers-by. The young man's name was Chuka. Nkechi felt a pang of sympathy as she saw Chuka. She approached him and asked, "Hello, sir. How are you today?" Chuka looked up, surprised by her kindness. "I'm doing well, thank you. How can I help you?" Nkechi smiled warmly. "I just wanted to say hello and see how you're doing. Do you need any help?" Chuka hesitated but then said, "Thank you for your kindness. I could use a little help, but it's not necessary." Nkechi was touched by his humility. She reached into her bag and gave him some money. "Please take this. It's not much, but I hope it helps." Chuka accepted the money with a grateful smile. "Thank you so much. You are very kind." Nkechi nodded and continued on her way, but she couldn't stop thinking about Chuka. She felt a strong connection to him and wanted to learn more about his life. Little did she know that this chance meeting was the beginning of an unexpected journey. As Nkechi walked away, Chuka watched her leave, feeling a mix of gratitude and curiosity. He wondered why such a wealthy and kind-hearted woman would show interest in him. Meanwhile, Nkechi couldn't shake the feeling that she wanted to see Chuka again. She decided that she would visit him the next day to talk more and understand his story. And so, with a heart full of curiosity and compassion, Nkechi prepared for the next chapter of her unexpected friendship with Chuka. The next day, Nkechi woke up with a sense of excitement. She had been thinking about Chuka and was eager to learn more about him. After a quick breakfast, she set out to visit the market again. She hoped that Chuka would be in the same spot as before. As she arrived at the market, she quickly spotted Chuka sitting by the roadside. He was in his usual place, but today he seemed a bit more hopeful. "Good morning, Chuka," Nkechi greeted cheerfully. Chuka looked up, recognizing her immediately. "Good morning, Nkechi. It's nice to see you again." Nkechi sat down beside him. "I wanted to come and talk more today. If you don't mind, I'd love to hear about your life and what brought you here." Chuka hesitated for a moment, then nodded. "All right, I don't mind. It's not often that someone shows such genuine interest." As they talked, Chuka shared his story. He told Nkechi that he had once been a skilled craftsman who made beautiful wooden carvings. However, after his family fell ill and his business failed, he lost everything and ended up on the streets. Despite the hardships, he continued to carve small wooden figures, hoping that one day he could start over. Nkechi listened intently, feeling a deep sense of empathy for Chuka. She admired his resilience and determination, even in the face of adversity. "You have a remarkable spirit, Chuka," Nkechi said, her eyes shining with admiration. "I believe you have a lot of potential, and I want to help if I can." Chuka was surprised. "You don't have to do that, Nkechi. Your kindness means a lot to me already." Nkechi shook her head. "I really want to. Let me help you get back on your feet. How about we find a place where you can work and live comfortably? I know some people who might be able to assist." Chuka was overwhelmed by her generosity. He had never expected someone like Nkechi to offer such help. "Thank you, Nkechi, that would be wonderful." Over the next few days, Nkechi worked diligently to help Chuka. She found a small workshop where he could continue his craft and arranged for a modest place for him to live. Chuka was thrilled to have the opportunity to start anew, and he was grateful for Nkechi's support. As they worked together to set up his new life, Nkechi and Chuka spent more time with each other. Their friendship grew stronger, and they enjoyed each other's company. They talked about their dreams, hopes and experiences, discovering how much they had in common despite their different backgrounds. One evening, as they sat together in Chuka's new workshop, Nkechi couldn't help but notice how much happier and more confident Chuka had become. She felt proud of what they had accomplished together. But as their friendship deepened, Nkechi began to realize that her feelings for Chuka were growing stronger. She found herself thinking about him more and more, wondering if there could be something more between them. Chuka, too, started to feel a special connection with Nkechi. He admired her kindness and saw her in a new light. However, he was unsure of how she felt about him, and worried about the differences in their social status. And so, as their friendship blossomed into something deeper, both Nkechi and Chuka faced the challenge of navigating their feelings and the potential obstacles that lay ahead. As weeks went by, Nkechi and Chuka continued to grow closer. Nkechi visited Chuka regularly and they spent countless hours talking and laughing together. Chuka's workshop flourished, and his wooden carvings began to attract attention. People admired his work, and his reputation as a skilled craftsman started to spread. One day, while they were taking a break from work, Nkechi and Chuka decided to visit a local festival. The festival was vibrant and full of life, with colorful stalls, music and delicious food. They enjoyed the lively atmosphere and delighted in the various activities. As they walked through the festival hand in hand, Nkechi could feel her heart fluttering. She was happy and content in Chuka's company, and she began to realize just how much she cared for him. Chuka too felt a deep sense of affection for Nkechi, but he was still unsure about how to express his feelings. At the festival, they stumbled upon a fortune-teller's booth. Curious and playful, Nkechi suggested they give it a try. Chuka agreed with a laugh, and they approached the booth. The fortune-teller, an elderly woman with wise eyes, greeted them warmly. "Welcome, I can tell you about your future if you'd like." Nkechi and Chuka exchanged amused glances and decided to have their fortunes read. The fortune-teller took Chuka's hand first, studying his palm carefully. After a moment, she looked up with a thoughtful expression. "You have a bright future ahead of you, full of opportunities and happiness," she said. "But be careful of the choices you make, as they will shape your destiny." Chuka was intrigued but didn't think much of it. Then it was Nkechi's turn. The fortune-teller examined her palm with a knowing smile and said, "You have a kind heart and a strong spirit. You will find true happiness when you follow your heart, even if it leads you down an unexpected path." Nkechi and Chuka thanked the fortune-teller and left the booth, feeling a bit mystified, but entertained by the experience. As they continued to enjoy the festival, they talked about their future dreams and aspirations. Nkechi shared her vision of starting a charity to help people in need, inspired by her experiences with Chuka. Chuka admired her passion and expressed his desire to continue improving his craft and eventually open his own gallery. As the festival came to an end, Nkechi and Chuka walked back to Chuka's workshop. The evening was calm, and the stars began to twinkle in the sky. They sat on a bench outside the workshop, talking about their hopes for the future. Nkechi took a deep breath and decided to share her feelings. "Chuka, I've really enjoyed spending time with you. I feel like we have a special connection. And I care about you a lot." Chuka looked at her, his heart racing. "I care about you too, Nkechi. You've been a great friend and more to me. I'm not sure how to move forward with all the differences between us." Nkechi reached out and took his hand. I understand. We have challenges, but I believe in us. Let's take things one step at a time and see where this journey leads. Chuka squeezed her hand gently, feeling a sense of hope and excitement. I'd like that, Nkechi. Let's see where this journey takes us. As they sat together under the stars, both Nkechi and Chuka felt a renewed sense of optimism about their future. They knew that their path might not be easy, but they were willing to face it together, with open hearts and a shared dream. And so, their story continued, filled with possibilities and the promise of a new chapter in their lives. Nkechi and Chuka's newfound closeness brought a sense of joy and excitement to their lives. They continued to work together and support each other's dreams. However, their growing relationship did not go unnoticed by others. One afternoon, as they were preparing for a local art fair where Chuka would display his carvings, Nkechi's father, Chief Emeka, paid an unexpected visit to the workshop. Chief Emeka was a prominent businessman in town, known for his traditional values and expectations for his daughter. When Chief Emeka arrived, he was surprised to find Nkechi and Chuka working side by side. He greeted them with a polite nod, but his eyes lingered on Chuka with curiosity and concern. Good afternoon, Nkechi. I see you've been quite busy here, Chief Emeka said, his tone friendly but cautious. Good afternoon, father. Yes, we've been preparing for the art fair, Nkechi replied cheerfully. Chief Emeka turned his attention to Chuka. And you must be Chuka. I've heard about your work, it's impressive. Thank you, sir, Chuka said, bowing his head slightly. I'm grateful for the opportunity to showcase my work. Chief Emeka studied Chuka for a moment before speaking. Nkechi, may I have a word with you privately? Nkechi nodded and followed her father to a quiet corner of the workshop. Chief Emeka's expression was serious as he began to speak. Nkechi, I've always been proud of your kindness and generosity, but I'm concerned about this relationship with Chuka. He's a good man, but he comes from a different background. People might talk, and it could affect our family's reputation. Nkechi's face grew troubled. Father, I understand your concerns, but Chuka is a remarkable person. He's shown me a side of life that I wouldn't have understood otherwise. I believe in him and what he's capable of. Chief Emeka sighed. I know you have a big heart, but you must also consider the consequences. This isn't just about you. It's about the entire family, and our standing in the community. Nkechi felt a pang of frustration, but tried to stay calm. I appreciate your advice, father, but I hope you can see that this is important to me. I want to make my own choices and follow my heart. Chief Emeka looked at his daughter with a mix of concern and understanding. I want what's best for you, Nkechi. If this relationship means so much to you, I'll try to support your decision. But please be careful. Nkechi hugged her father. Thank you, father. I promise I'll be careful. Meanwhile, Chuka, who had been working quietly, sensed that something was amiss. When Nkechi returned, he saw the worried expression on her face. Is everything okay? Chuka asked gently. Nkechi took a deep breath. My father had some concerns about us. He worries about the differences in our backgrounds and how it might affect our family. Chuka's face fell slightly. I understand. It's not easy to bridge such gaps, especially with traditional values in play. Nkechi took his hand reassuringly. We knew this would be challenging, but I believe we can face these challenges together. We just need to be strong and supportive of each other. Chuka nodded, a mixture of determination and apprehension in his eyes. I'm ready to face whatever comes our way. Let's keep moving forward and see where this journey takes us. As the day of the art fair approached, Nkechi and Chuka worked tirelessly to prepare. They knew that their relationship would face scrutiny and challenges, but they were committed to supporting each other through it all. And so, with both excitement and apprehension, they continued their journey, ready to face the trials and triumphs that lay ahead. The day of the art fair arrived, and the town square was abuzz with activity. Colorful banners fluttered in the breeze, and stalls were set up with an array of crafts, foods, and entertainment. Chuka's stall, adorned with his beautifully carved wooden figures, drew many curious visitors. Nkechi was by his side, proudly helping to display his work. As the fair began, people marveled at Chuka's craftsmanship. His carvings of animals, people and abstract designs were admired for their intricate details and artistic flair. Nkechi was thrilled to see Chuka's hard work being appreciated and noticed how his confidence grew with every compliment. However, amid the positive attention, some whispers and gossip started to circulate. A few townsfolk were puzzled by Nkechi's presence at the fair and her close association with Chuka. Their curiosity soon turned into criticism, and some began to question the nature of their relationship. Nkechi and Chuka were so engrossed in the fair that they initially didn't notice the growing murmurs around them. But as the day went on, Nkechi began to feel uneasy. She overheard a conversation between two women who were talking about her and Chuka in hushed tones. "I heard she's been spending a lot of time with that beggar," one woman said. "Yes, and now he's showcasing his work at the fair." "It's unusual," the other responded. Nkechi's heart sank. She knew that people could be judgmental, but hearing their negative remarks was still painful. She glanced at Chuka, who was busy interacting with visitors, unaware of the gossip. As the fair continued, Nkechi tried to push her worries aside and focus on supporting Chuka. But the atmosphere began to feel tense. She noticed that some of the visitors who had initially shown interest in Chuka's work were now giving him sidelong glances or leaving the stall without saying a word. Later in the day, Chief Emeka visited the fair again. This time, his expression was even more serious. He approached Nkechi and Chuka with a concerned look. "Nkechi, I've heard some troubling things about how people are reacting to your involvement with Chuka," Chief Emeka said quietly. "It seems the gossip has spread, and it's affecting your reputation and Chuka's work." Nkechi's face grew pale. "I was afraid of this. I didn't want to believe it, but it seems the rumors are true." Chuka, who had been listening quietly, spoke up. "I'm sorry, Nkechi. I didn't mean for this to cause any trouble for you or your family." Nkechi shook her head. "It's not your fault, Chuka. We knew that this would be challenging. But I didn't expect it to affect you so directly." Chief Emeka placed a hand on Nkechi's shoulder. "I understand your commitment to Chuka, but you must also consider how this impacts our family and community. Sometimes our actions can have unforeseen consequences." Nkechi took a deep breath and looked at Chuka with determination. "We've come this far, and I'm not going to let these challenges stop us. We need to face this together, and we'll find a way to overcome the obstacles." Chuka nodded, his resolve strengthening. "I agree. Let's not give up now. We can't let gossip and negativity define our future." Despite the difficulties, Chuka's stall did attract some genuine admirers, and he made several sales. As the fair came to a close, Nkechi and Chuka packed up their things, determined to address the issues head-on. That evening, as they sat together in Chuka's workshop, they talked about their next steps. They knew that they would have to navigate the challenges of societal expectations and gossip, but they were ready to face it together. Nkechi looked at Chuka with renewed hope. "We'll keep moving forward and continue to support each other. Our journey might be difficult, but I believe we can make a difference." Chuka smiled, feeling a sense of reassurance. "I'm grateful for your support, Nkechi. Let's keep working hard and prove that our relationship is stronger than any challenges we face. As they sat together, their bond grew stronger. They were ready to tackle the obstacles ahead and remain steadfast in their commitment to each other, no matter what came their way. The days following the art fair were challenging for Nkechi and Chuka. The gossip and criticism from the community had intensified, and it seemed that every corner of town was abuzz with rumors. Despite their best efforts to stay positive, the weight of public opinion began to take a toll on them. One evening, as Nkechi was leaving her house to visit Chuka, she was approached by a group of women from the community. They were the same women she had overheard at the fair, and they looked at her with a mix of curiosity and disapproval. "Nkechi, we've been hearing so much about you and that man," one of the women said, her tone sharp. "Is it true that you're planning to marry him? What would your father say?" Nkechi took a deep breath, trying to remain calm. "I'm not here to discuss my personal life with anyone. Chuka and I care about each other, and that's what matters." Another woman added, "It's not just about you, it's about your family and our community. People are talking, and it's causing quite a stir." Nkechi felt a surge of frustration, but forced herself to stay composed. "I understand your concerns, but I believe in following my heart. If you have any more questions, you can speak to my father about it." With that, Nkechi walked away, feeling a mixture of anger and sadness. She arrived at Chuka's workshop, where she found him working on a new carving. He looked up and saw the troubled expression on her face. "What happened?" Chuka asked, noticing her distress. Nkechi sighed and explained the encounter with the women. "The gossip is getting worse, and people are really judging us. I'm trying to stay strong, but it's difficult." Chuka put down his tools and walked over to her. "I know it's hard. I've been feeling the weight of it too. But we have to remember why we started this journey together. Our commitment to each other is what's important." Nkechi nodded, feeling comforted by his words. "You're right. We can't let this negativity define us. We need to stay focused on our goals and keep supporting each other." Just then, there was a knock on the workshop door. Chuka opened it to find Ugochukwu, a respected elder from the community. Ugochukwu had heard about the situation and wanted to speak with them. "Good evening, Nkechi and Chuka," Ugochukwu said kindly. "I've come to offer my support and discuss what's happening." Nkechi and Chuka invited Ugochukwu inside and listened as he spoke. "I've been hearing the rumors and the negative comments," Ugochukwu began. "But I know both of you are good people with pure intentions. Sometimes, our community struggles with change and new ideas, but that doesn't mean we should give up." Nkechi's eyes widened with surprise. "You mean you're not against us?" Ugochukwu shook his head. "No, I see the good you're trying to do, and the genuine care you have for each other. I want to help you address the concerns and show the community that your relationship is based on respect and love." Chuka felt a wave of relief. "Thank you, Ugochukwu. We've been facing a lot of challenges, and your support means a lot to us." Ugochukwu smiled. "I will speak to some of the elders and try to help change the narrative. It's important that people understand the positive impact you're having, and not just focus on the differences." With Ugochukwu's support, Nkechi and Chuka felt a renewed sense of hope. They continued their efforts to showcase Chuka's art and work on their personal goals, knowing that they had allies who believed in them. As the days passed, Ugochukwu's intervention began to make a difference. More people started to see Chuka's talent and the genuine nature of his relationship with Nkechi. While not everyone was won over, the atmosphere began to improve. Nkechi and Chuka found themselves in a better place, but they knew there was still a long road ahead. They continued to face challenges, but with each other's support, and the backing of those who believed in them, they were more determined than ever to prove that their love and commitment were worth fighting for. Their journey was far from over, and new obstacles would arise, but they were ready to face whatever came their way, confident in their shared vision and mutual respect. With Ugochukwu's support and the community's slowly changing perception, Nkechi and Chuka began to feel a renewed sense of hope. They continued working together, with Chuka's art gaining more recognition and their bond growing stronger. One day, as they were preparing for another local exhibition, Nkechi received a letter from her father. The letter was written in a formal tone, which made her nervous as she opened it. Inside, she found an invitation to a prestigious event at a large hotel, where Chief Emeka was being honored for his contributions to the community. Nkechi read the letter carefully. It mentioned that the event was a significant opportunity for Chief Emeka to showcase his success and influence. The letter also included a request for Nkechi to attend as his daughter, representing their family. Feeling a mix of excitement and anxiety, Nkechi showed the letter to Chuka. "Father wants me to attend this big event. It's important for our family, and he's expecting me to be there." Chuka looked at her thoughtfully. "It sounds like an important occasion. Will you be able to go with your father's expectations and still be true to yourself?" Nkechi sighed. "I'm not sure. I want to support my father and be there for him, but I also worry about how people might react if they see me there with Chuka." Chuka took her hand gently. "You should do what feels right for you. If you choose to attend the event, you can still stand by your values and show people the true nature of our relationship." After some reflection, Nkechi decided to attend the event, hoping to balance her family's expectations with her commitment to Chuka. She informed her father of her decision, and began preparing for the event, selecting a beautiful dress and making sure everything was in order. On the night of the event, the hotel was filled with distinguished guests, elegant decorations, and a lively atmosphere. Chief Emeka was proud and eager to show off his accomplishments. As Nkechi arrived at the event, she saw many familiar faces from the community, including those who had been critical of her relationship with Chuka. Despite her apprehension, Nkechi walked gracefully into the room. Her father greeted her warmly and introduced her to various guests. Throughout the evening, Nkechi engaged in polite conversation, trying to stay positive and focused on the event's purpose. However, the evening took an unexpected turn, when a well-known journalist, Ngozi, approached Nkechi. Ngozi had been following the gossip about Nkechi and Chuka and was keen to get her side of the story. "Nkechi, may I have a moment of your time?" Ngozi asked, her camera and notepad ready. Nkechi was taken aback but nodded. "Of course, Ngozi. What would you like to know?" Ngozi began asking questions about Nkechi's relationship with Chuka and her reasons for supporting him despite the criticism. Nkechi answered honestly, explaining her feelings and the positive changes she had seen in Chuka's life. As they spoke, Chief Emeka noticed the conversation and approached with a look of concern. "Nkechi, let's focus on the event. We can discuss this later." Ngozi, sensing the tension, smiled and thanked Nkechi for her time before walking away. Chief Emeka looked at Nkechi with a mix of frustration and worry. "I didn't expect this," Chief Emeka said quietly. "You've made things more complicated by speaking to the press." Nkechi tried to remain calm. "I was only sharing my truth, father. It's important for people to understand the real story, not just the rumors." As the evening progressed, the event continued with speeches, awards, and celebratory moments. Nkechi did her best to enjoy the occasion and support her father, but the encounter with Ngozi left her feeling unsettled. When the event finally ended, Nkechi and her father returned home. Chief Emeka was silent, deep in thought. Nkechi knew that the evening had not gone as planned, and she was unsure how the media coverage would impact their lives. Meanwhile, Chuka, who had been waiting for Nkechi's return, was anxious to hear how the event went. When Nkechi arrived at the workshop, she recounted the evening's events and her encounter with Ngozi. Chuka listened carefully and offered his support. "We've faced challenges before, and we'll face them again. We just need to stay true to ourselves and support each other through it all." Nkechi nodded, feeling comforted by his words. "Thank you, Chuka. I hope that by being honest and open, we can help change people's perceptions over time." As they sat together, the uncertainty of the media's reaction loomed, but they remained determined to face whatever came next with courage and resilience. Their journey was far from over, and new trials awaited, but they were ready to confront them side by side. The days following the event were filled with tension and anticipation. The media coverage of the event, including Nkechi's interview with Ngozi, sparked a flurry of activity. The story about Nkechi and Chuka was featured in the local newspapers, with headlines that ranged from sensational to sympathetic. Some articles highlighted the couple's commitment to each other and the positive changes in Chuka's life, while others focused on the controversy and challenges they faced. Despite the media attention, Nkechi and Chuka tried to stay focused on their goals. Chuka's carvings were gaining more recognition, and he was invited to showcase his work at a larger exhibition in the city. Nkechi was excited for him but knew that this opportunity could also bring more scrutiny. One morning, as Nkechi was preparing for the day, she received a phone call from Ugochukwu. He had some important news to share. "Nkechi, I've been working on a plan to help improve the community's perception of you and Chuka," Ugochukwu said. "I think we need to address the issue more directly and show people the positive impact you're having." Nkechi was intrigued. "What do you have in mind?" Ugochukwu explained that he was organizing a community event to highlight local success stories and positive contributions. The goal was to showcase people like Chuka, who were making a difference despite the challenges they faced. "If we can organize this event," Ugochukwu continued, "it could help shift the focus from gossip to the real stories of hard work and dedication. It might also help people see Chuka and your relationship in a more positive light." Nkechi was thrilled by the idea. "That sounds amazing. I'd love to be a part of it and help share Chuka's story." With Ugochukwu's support, Nkechi and Chuka began preparing for the community event. They worked together to gather stories, photos, and testimonials from those who had been positively affected by Chuka's art and Nkechi's charitable efforts. As the event date approached, excitement and anticipation built up. The community was curious about the new event, and word began to spread. Many people were eager to see what it was all about, and how it might impact the ongoing discussions about Nkechi and Chuka. On the day of the event, the town square was transformed into a vibrant showcase of local achievements. There were displays of art, crafts, and various community projects. Chuka's carvings were prominently featured, and there was a special area dedicated to showcasing his journey and the positive impact he had made. Nkechi and Chuka greeted visitors and shared their stories, explaining how they had overcome challenges and worked together to make a difference. They also took the opportunity to speak about their relationship and the genuine care they had for each other. As the day went on, many people who had previously been skeptical began to see Chuka and Nkechi in a new light. They heard the stories of perseverance and dedication, and began to appreciate the positive contributions Chuka had made to the community. At one point during the event, Chief Emeka arrived with a mix of curiosity and reluctance. He had heard positive feedback from some of the attendees and wanted to see for himself how the event was unfolding. When Chief Emeka saw the turnout and the heartfelt stories shared, he felt a change in his perspective. He approached Nkechi and Chuka, looking more thoughtful than before. "I must admit, I didn't expect this," Chief Emeka said. "The event has shown me that there's more to your story than I realized. I see now that Chuka has made a significant impact, and you've been a part of something positive." Nkechi smiled, feeling a sense of relief. Thank you, Father. It's been a challenging journey, but we've been trying to make a difference and show people the real story. Chief Emeka nodded. I'm proud of you, Nkechi. I think we can work together to address the remaining concerns and continue supporting positive efforts. With Chief Emeka's newfound understanding, the community event was a success. People began to see Chuka and Nkechi's relationship as a testament to love and resilience, rather than just a source of controversy. As the event concluded, Nkechi and Chuka felt a renewed sense of hope and accomplishment. They had taken a significant step toward changing perceptions and proving that their commitment to each other was genuine and valuable. But even as they celebrated their achievements, they knew that their journey was far from over. They were prepared to face new challenges and continue working towards their dreams, with the support of their community and each other. And so, as they looked toward the future, they remained determined to navigate the path ahead with courage and hope, ready to embrace whatever came their way. The success of the community event brought a renewed sense of optimism to Nkechi and Chuka's lives. The positive feedback and changing perceptions were encouraging, and they felt a stronger bond with their community. However, just as they were beginning to enjoy this newfound stability, an unexpected visitor arrived. One afternoon, as Nkechi and Chuka were working in the workshop, the door creaked open, and a tall, elegant woman walked in. She was dressed in a sophisticated outfit and carried herself with an air of confidence. Nkechi and Chuka exchanged puzzled glances as the woman approached. Good afternoon, the woman said in a calm, cultured voice. I'm Dr. Sophia Okafor. I've heard a lot about you, Chuka, and your impressive carvings. Chuka stood up, surprised by the unexpected visit. Good afternoon, Dr. Okafor. What brings you here? Dr. Okafor smiled warmly. I'm here to discuss a potential opportunity with you. I'm an art curator, and I've been following your work closely. I believe your carvings have great potential, and I'd like to offer you a chance to showcase them in a major art exhibition in Lagos. Nkechi's eyes widened in excitement. Lagos? That sounds incredible. Dr. Okafor nodded. Yes, it's a prestigious event that attracts a lot of attention from art enthusiasts and collectors. It could be a fantastic opportunity for you to gain more recognition and expand your reach. Chuka was both thrilled and apprehensive. That sounds amazing, but it's quite a big step. How would it work? Dr. Okafor explained that the exhibition would feature Chuka's work alongside other renowned artists. They would need to prepare a selection of pieces for display, and Dr. Okafor would handle the logistics and promotion. I'll be here to guide you through the process and ensure everything goes smoothly, Dr. Okafor said. I believe this opportunity could be a turning point for your career. Nkechi could see the excitement in Chuka's eyes and felt a rush of pride. This is a wonderful chance for you, Chuka. We should definitely consider it. Chuka looked at Dr. Okafor with a mixture of excitement and uncertainty. I'm grateful for the opportunity. It's just that I'm not sure how to handle such a big event. I've never been part of something like this before. Dr. Okafor reassured him. Don't worry, Chuka. I'll help you every step of the way. This is a chance to showcase your talent on a larger stage, and I'm confident that you'll do great. As Dr. Okafor left the workshop, she provided Chuka with details about the exhibition and the next steps. Nkechi and Chuka were left to process the exciting news and what it meant for their future. That evening, as they discussed the opportunity, Nkechi could sense Chuka's nervousness. Are you okay? You seem a bit overwhelmed. Chuka sighed. It's a lot to take in. I'm excited about the exhibition, but I'm also worried about the expectations and whether I'll be able to handle it. Nkechi took his hand and looked at him with reassurance. You've worked so hard to get here, and you've proven yourself time and time again. This is just another step in your journey. I know you'll do amazing. Chuka nodded, feeling comforted by her support. Thank you, Nkechi. Your encouragement means a lot. As they prepared for the upcoming exhibition, they began to focus on selecting the best pieces and preparing for the journey to Lagos. The excitement of the opportunity was tempered by the challenges of managing the logistics and ensuring everything was ready for the big event. Meanwhile, the community's response to Chuka's upcoming exhibition was a mix of curiosity and support. Many people were eager to see his work showcased on a larger stage, while others were still grappling with their own opinions about Nkechi and Chuka's relationship. Despite the mixed reactions, Nkechi and Chuka remained focused on their goals. They knew that the exhibition in Lagos could be a pivotal moment for Chuka's career and were determined to make the most of it. As the date of the exhibition approached, they continued to work diligently, preparing their best pieces and planning for the journey. They were ready to embrace the new opportunities and challenges that lay ahead, confident in their commitment to each other and their shared dreams. And so, as they faced the anticipation of the upcoming exhibition, they remained hopeful and determined, ready to navigate the path before them with resilience and optimism. The day of the art exhibition in Lagos arrived, and Nkechi and Chuka were both excited and anxious. The bustling city presented a stark contrast to their small town, and the prospect of showcasing Chuka's work on such a grand stage filled them with both hope and apprehension. They packed their selected carvings carefully, making sure each piece was securely wrapped for the journey. Dr. Okafor had arranged transportation for them, and they set off early in the morning to make sure they arrived in Lagos with plenty of time to set up. The drive to Lagos was long, but the scenic views and the thrill of the upcoming exhibition made it more bearable. Nkechi and Chuka chatted about their hopes for the event and the potential opportunities it could bring. When they finally arrived at the exhibition venue, a large, elegant hall adorned with beautiful decorations, they were awestruck by its grandeur. The space was filled with various art pieces from artists all over Nigeria, and the atmosphere was buzzing with anticipation. Dr. Okafor greeted them warmly and guided them through the venue. Welcome to Lagos. I'm excited to show you around and help you get settled. Chuka and Nkechi admired the venue's impressive setup and began unloading their carvings. Dr. Okafor introduced them to some of the other artists, and Chuka was inspired by the diverse range of talents on display. As they set up Chuka's stall, they noticed a group of influential art critics and collectors walking through the hall, examining the exhibits. Nkechi could see Chuka's nervousness, but she encouraged him to stay focused and positive. Once everything was in place, Dr. Okafor gathered everyone for a brief meeting. Tonight, there will be a private preview for VIP guests and media. It's a chance to make a strong impression and connect with potential buyers and supporters. Nkechi and Chuka prepared themselves for the evening's event, putting on their best outfits and reviewing their presentation. Chuka's carvings were displayed prominently, and Nkechi felt a surge of pride as she looked at the setup. As the evening approached, guests began arriving, and the venue filled with chatter and excitement. Chuka and Nkechi greeted visitors and explained the significance of each carving. They were met with admiration and curiosity from many attendees. However, amidst the positive interactions, Chuka noticed a familiar face in the crowd. Okechukwu, a wealthy businessman from their town who had previously been critical of their relationship, was now at the exhibition. Okechukwu had a reputation for being influential, and his presence made Chuka uneasy. Okechukwu approached Chuka's stall, and the tension was palpable. "Good evening, Chuka. I see you've made it to Lagos." Chuka nodded politely. "Good evening, Okechukwu. Yes, we're excited about the exhibition." Okechukwu looked at the carvings with a critical eye. "I must admit, your work has improved. It's good to see you're making progress. Nkechi joined the conversation, her expression determined. Thank you for your feedback, Okechukwu. We've worked hard to get here, and we're grateful for the opportunity. Okechukwu's gaze softened slightly. I've heard a lot about your journey and the impact you've made. It's not easy to overcome obstacles and still achieve success. The conversation took a surprising turn as Okechukwu continued. I may have been skeptical before, but I respect your dedication. I wish you both the best. With that, Okechukwu moved on, leaving Chuka and Nkechi feeling a mixture of relief and uncertainty. It was clear that the journey to gaining acceptance was ongoing, but the positive feedback from influential figures was a step in the right direction. As the private preview continued, Chuka's carvings received praise from art critics and collectors. There were inquiries about purchasing some pieces, and Chuka felt a surge of confidence. The feedback was overwhelmingly positive, and the potential for future opportunities seemed promising. After the event, as they returned to their accommodation, Nkechi and Chuka reflected on the evening's events. They were encouraged by the positive reception, but knew that their journey was far from over. Nkechi looked at Chuka with a smile. You did amazing tonight. People are starting to see the value of your work. And that's a huge step forward. Chuka nodded, feeling a renewed sense of hope. Thank you, Nkechi. Your support means everything. We've come a long way, and I believe we're moving in the right direction. As they prepared for the days ahead, they knew that there would be more challenges and opportunities to navigate. But with each other's support and the progress they had made, they felt ready to embrace whatever came next. Their journey was still unfolding, and they were determined to continue pursuing their dreams and making a positive impact, one step at a time. The exhibition in Lagos proved to be a significant milestone for Chuka. The positive reception and potential opportunities had energized both him and Nkechi. As they settled into their temporary accommodation, they began planning for the future and discussing their next steps. Chuka had received several offers for his carvings, and the excitement of potential sales was palpable. However, amidst the optimism, there was still the matter of dealing with lingering doubts and the complex dynamics of their relationship with their community and families. One afternoon, as they were reviewing offers and preparing thank you notes for their supporters, Nkechi received a phone call from her father, Chief Emeka. His tone was serious, and she could sense a hint of tension in his voice. Nkechi, I need to talk to you about something important, Chief Emeka said. There have been some developments back home that we need to discuss. Nkechi's heart raced. What's going on, father? Chief Emeka explained that there had been some unrest in their town regarding the community's perception of Nkechi and Chuka's relationship. Some of the traditional leaders and influential figures were still not entirely accepting of their bond, and there were discussions about their place in the community. We've had some pushback, Chief Emeka continued. It seems that your actions here in Lagos have stirred up old sentiments, and some people are questioning. Chief Emeka sighed. We need to address these concerns directly. I think it would be helpful if you came back to the town for a meeting with the community leaders. It might help to clear the air and show them that you and Chuka are committed to making a positive impact. Nkechi discussed the situation with Chuka, who was equally troubled but agreed that it was important to address the issues. They decided to return to their town for the meeting, hoping to resolve the conflicts and demonstrate their dedication to their community. Upon their return, they were greeted with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism. The town square was bustling with people eager to hear what Nkechi and Chuka had to say. The atmosphere was tense, and the traditional leaders gathered to discuss the matter. During the meeting, Nkechi and Chuka addressed the concerns openly. They spoke about their experiences in Lagos, the positive impact of Chuka's art, and their commitment to contributing to the community. We understand that change can be challenging, Nkechi said, addressing the leaders. But we believe that our efforts can bring positive outcomes for everyone. We are committed to working together and supporting our community. Chuka added, we've faced many obstacles, but we've always tried to stay true to our values and our love for each other. We hope that by continuing to work hard and contribute positively, we can earn your support and trust. The community leaders listened attentively, and there were mixed reactions among the crowd. Some were still hesitant, while others showed signs of understanding and acceptance. The discussion was heated but respectful, and there was a sense that progress could be made. As the meeting concluded, Chief Emeka spoke privately with Nkechi and Chuka. You handled the situation well, and I appreciate your openness. It's a step towards resolving the issues, but it may take time for everyone to fully accept the changes. Nkechi and Chuka nodded, feeling a sense of cautious optimism. They knew that the road to acceptance and understanding was ongoing, but they were determined to continue working towards their goals and contributing to their community. With the meeting behind them, they returned to Lagos with a renewed focus. Chuka's art exhibition continued to garner attention, and they were busy preparing for upcoming opportunities. The challenges they faced only strengthened their resolve to make a positive impact and demonstrate the value of their efforts. As they moved forward, they remained hopeful that their dedication and hard work would eventually lead to greater acceptance and understanding. Their journey was far from over, and they were ready to embrace the future with resilience and determination. As Chuka and Nkechi returned to Lagos, they were met with a flurry of activity. The success of the exhibition had opened doors to new opportunities, and they were excited to see what lay ahead. The challenges they had faced in their hometown had strengthened their resolve and deepened their commitment to their dreams. Chuka's art continued to attract attention, and he was invited to participate in a series of workshops and exhibitions across Nigeria. Nkechi supported him every step of the way, helping to manage the logistics and ensuring that his work was well represented. One day, as they were preparing for another showcase, Nkechi received a message from Chief Emeka. He wanted to share some positive news. Nkechi, the message read, I wanted to let you know that the community has started to see the positive impact of your efforts. The meeting had a significant effect, and many people are beginning to appreciate the value of Chuka's work and your dedication. It's a slow process, but things are changing for the better. Nkechi was relieved and excited to hear this news. She shared it with Chuka, and they both felt a renewed sense of hope. The road ahead was still challenging, but they could see the fruits of their perseverance beginning to emerge. As they prepared for the next exhibition, Chuka was approached by a well-known art collector from abroad, who had been following his work. The collector expressed interest in acquiring several of Chuka's pieces and invited him to an international art fair in Europe. This opportunity was a dream come true for Chuka, and it signaled a new chapter in his career. He and Nkechi were thrilled but also felt the weight of their journey, the challenges they had faced, the doubts they had overcome, and the love that had sustained them through it all. The night before they were to leave for the international fair, Nkechi and Chuka took a moment to reflect on their journey. They sat together, looking at the stars, and discussed their experiences. We've come so far, Nkechi said softly. It hasn't been easy, but I believe it's all been worth it. Our journey has shown us that staying true to ourselves and our values can lead to unexpected and wonderful opportunities. Chuka nodded. It's been a test of our strength and our love. We've faced criticism, uncertainty, and challenges, but we've always supported each other. I'm grateful for the journey we've shared. As they embarked on their journey to Europe, they were filled with a sense of accomplishment and anticipation. The international fair was a success, and Chuka's work was met with acclaim from art enthusiasts and collectors from around the world. It was a testament to their hard work and dedication. Upon returning to Nigeria, they were welcomed back with newfound respect and appreciation. The community had come to recognize Chuka's contributions and the positive impact of their efforts. Chief Emeka and many others expressed their pride in what they had achieved. In the end, Nkechi and Chuka's journey was a story of resilience, love, and determination. They had faced numerous obstacles but had remained committed to their values and their dreams. Their success was not just about achieving their goals, but also about overcoming adversity and demonstrating the power of perseverance.